Cincinnati artist Jeremy Johnson, who works in an unusual medium. Using remains from humane sources, he explores the natural world with techniques of taxidermy.
A lot of the work we do is involving taxidermy, and obviously that's the sort of thing that you're not going to find at an art store. So the supplying of that work, a lot of it is coming from the road. So taxidermy, I guess, is movable skin is what it literally translates to. And what it is it's an art form in which you're removing the skin from an animal and replacing the inside with a form, a sculpture. When I was much younger, actually, the reason I even moved to Cincinnati was to go into art school, and I had a lot of designs on becoming a medical illustrator. I had all these skins, because you got to be really, really delicate when you're doing dissection. And eventually I figured out that I should probably go ahead and use those in the artwork in some way. Instead of just doing 2D, go to the 3D. So I moved on to taxidermy really from a medical illustration perspective. What we do is we do ethically sourced things. The things that we're not doing is we're not going out and hunting. The work that I'm doing it has a lot of gallows humor in it. There is a lot of comedy in a lot of these pieces. A lot of the mounts in the taxidermy I make are intended to be viewed as either intentionally kinetic or intentionally static. So like bone articulations and things like that, they're meant to move and teach people, so you can see how muscles are intended to move and how bones articulate with one another. But in many ways, that comedy or that sometimes the grotesqueness of it is intended to really disarm people, as open up a gateway, in a sense, to nature itself. One of the things that gets asked a lot of me is how can you stand all the blood and things like that, like all the gore of it. It really isn't actually that messy or gory. It actually is a very technical trade. So first, there is the skinning process. So that means removing the skin from the body. From that, then there's a salting process, which everything has to be dehydrated, and there's a lot of sciencey stuff in there. It's not really necessary, but the salt basically dehydrates the skin from the inside rather than having a forced dried coat on the surface of the skin. We take all the fat and other layers of skin and stuff like that on the inside that need to be removed for a good tan. So that's at the point in which you're chemically changing the skin. I think the anatomy is critically important with all the work I do. And I think finding those comparisons between animals and humans is really eye-opening. And if I'm altering the anatomy, then it has to be believable. We don't actually use pre-sculpted mannequins. But since we're doing a lot more artistically based stuff, we make all of it ourselves. A lot of the stuff we use for raccoons and things like that are actually just blown glass, black bubbles. Well, these are the actual teeth, but then a two-part epoxy clay. So if we were to do something, actually it would make sense. If we were to do something that's a resin cast, then I would use a mold. The teeth are fit directly to this sculpture. The uppers will just fall out if I put them there, but they fit in there too. I think the most rewarding part of all of it is a deeper understanding in nature, biology, and anatomy and physiology. Like when I think about the most, I don't know, energetic times that I've had, it's been when something is discovered that just wasn't expected.